Hello everyone, welcome to Fast Track. Today our guest is Miss Mukti Mohan, an acclaimed Indian dancer and actress known for winning Zara Nika Season 2. She's also known for her roles in movies like Love Stories 2 and Thar. Let me deep dive into her journey. I am Saimik Sen and you're watching Herald Global. Thank you so much you took out this
Amazing.
time for us.
Thank
It's
you.
an
Thank you
absolute
for inviting me and giving me the honor. So sweet of you
sure.
guys. Thank
So
you.
it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you so
So
much.
sweet.
Okay, so let me begin by asking you what inspired you to pursue a career in acting and dancing?
My upbringing, my sisters, my parents, and majorly it was the eldest sister, Mukti Mohan. She inspired me, and she is an inspiration. She's a mother, she's a guide, she's everything. She carved the niche for, I think, all of us. We had never even given it a thought that it could be a career or it could be, like it can escalate into anything. We were actually growing up in Delhi, and parents, they can't even do this much on the beat, by the way. So दूर tak dancing, acting, singing se kuch nata nahi tha. But Nitidi used to do something interesting in her
Of course.
bedroom, you know. So she used to lock herself, and us, we are three more sisters, you know, younger to her. And we
Yes,
used to wonder, what is she doing? So we used to, you know, peep through the keyhole and see what she's doing. She used to she used to put a white blanket on the bed. She used to, with pillows, make a stage, perform. And we used to be like, what is that? So I always used to be fascinated with expressing, with performing, with singing, dancing, acting, telling stories. So I think I grew up in that culture. So I thought I love it, and I hope one day it becomes a profession. And I'm just living a dream now.
definitely. So, three of you, how has the journey been like?
The journey of we so far see. Honestly, I wanted to be a psychologist. I wanted to
Okay,
study. I was applying for my master's, and Shakti Di was going to appear for IAS exams, and Neeti Di was already a pop star back in like 2003. So we were in school, and then people used to tell us, "You have a famous sister. You have a famous sister," and we were like, "Yes!" Like we used to always be inspired, and always hoped that one day, you know, our hobby becomes a profession. But there were years of training, years of having fun on stage, and creating new vocabulary, because at that time dance was, quite honestly, not as widespread as
yes,
now it is.
yes,
Not everyone understood what a contemporary is, what a locking, popping. Now people know, you know. So at that time, we were just training, and we were part of a dance company, Terence Lewis Dance Academy.
yes,
And slowly we kept training, and Bombay gives you many opportunities.
of course.
So we got many opportunities to audition, and I was auditioning almost every day. You know, I used to go to St. Xavier's College in a train, and on my way back, I used to just, without telling anyone, go for like multiple auditions. And I used to be excited about reading a passage and in front of people, moving them, and that's it. I just wanted to audition everywhere. And the first audition that I went through was a dance show, and I had no idea it was a dance show, and I was the only non-celebrity there. And so that's how my journey started. But beyond that, I think somebody who gave me um, a vision, um, somebody who gave me like some faith that this can happen, this is a possibility, that is Nitidi.
Okay, so Zara Dikha Season 2, winning it, how did it impact your career?
I immediately got signed for a comedy show with Kapil Sharma.
Sure.
I immediately got many ads, like there was a big dove hoarding. I remember those were like a few things which I had no idea what happens. And people say that you'll be paid for it. And I was like, what? Now I'll be paid to do this. Initially, we were just like, we want to do it. I hope we get selected and we get to perform. That's it, you know. So slowly, the commercial angle of it came, and we were like, okay, now this is a profession, and everyone's time, money, effort has to be respected, and you have to learn. Um, I think it's years of training somehow, and also education, which I'm really, really glad that parents really focused
Of
on.
course.
And yeah, because as soon as you finish performing, you have to, have a dialogue with the audience. You have to speak to the judges, fellow
True.
performers, directors. So that happened. And I remember auditioning for a Vishal Bhardwaj film, and it was a short film. It was a really, really short uh, role, but many people were auditioning for it. And I was like, I hope I make it because I really like his filmography. And Makbool or kitni filmein hain, that you
Definitely.
love what, and his script is also stemming from Shakespeare, theater. So I was very excited about doing that. Although there's a little blink and miss, but my idea of giving auditions, as many variety of things that I could do, I just wanted to gain experience of working with some geniuses in the industry. So, and just somehow one day achieve like even mentorship, because I want to learn how they're able to translate, like, such beautiful text into scripts and stories, and dive into different characters. So after Zara Nika, I ended up doing a short film. I ended up doing a comedy circus, and again winning that. Then I got झलक दिखला जा. उसके लिए thankfully audition नहीं देना पड़ा. People had seen my work till then. And then I even did Fear Factor. So, and I was in the finalist in other two. So then I slowly moved away from TV and competitions, because I was like, now I think I can graduate into a better way of maybe diving into something without having a reinforcement,
Sure.
because in competitions, what they do is they give you marks and you're motivated to do something better next
Hmm.
time and achieve better score. So I was like, okay, now that was the school. And now I need to graduate into something where the reinforcement might come directly from the audience.
Hmm.
So then I joined theater. I did my training in Chicago. I did my training in Adi Shakti, Auroville, and बहुत प्यारे teachers, बहुत beautiful courses rooted in Natya Shastra, Kalari Paito, and there's so much that I ended up exploring from there. Then I did 6 plays, almost 55 shows of each play.
Wow.
And although eyeballs were just like 500 or 200 in the auditorium, but the kind of faith that you have in your craft, and how much can you reach out to people and what impacts them, and that experience is something only theater can give, so I slowly got into that. And then in the audience, I was fortunate that there were few directors, there were few casting directors who saw my work, and they were like, you not only dance, you even act. And why don't you audition for this, audition for that? And I was like, yes. Finally, I know, where people cast, where people, start their work. And that's how Thar happened. That's how working with Anil sir happened. That's how Raj Singh Chaudhary, the director and the writer of Gulal, and he acted in it. So I got in touch with the team, Anurag Kashyap gang. And before that, many years ago, I had met Anurag Kashyap, and even I told him that I want to work with you. So he was like, come, become my AD. And I was like, okay. He's like, 3 months I was in Sri Lanka. I aided,
How
I
was the
assisted
experience?
him on Bombay Velvet.
How
Very
was the
nice.
experience working with Anurag Kashyap? I mean, it
It's a
must be.
beautiful. It's a film school in itself. It's what to do, what not to do, which department is aiming at achieving what for that particular shot, you know. So you get to learn that and respect each other's job when you're on set. And I think being on set is the best, because it's the best democracy. Everyone is doing their own thing, you know, but they are working towards the common goal. So I loved being on set. I loved performing. I was like, okay, there's such high pressure scenes and shots, and there's so much money involved, you know, for that particular day, for those particular scenes, and what goes behind giving a performance. Because as a film medium, I got to learn the most when I assisted Anurag Kashyap. So yeah, so just gained experiences, and now I'm really fortunate. In just a couple of days, two of my releases are coming
I was coming to that,
on. Yeah,
asking you
so I'm
about
like,
your upcoming projects.
when you just spoke about journey, I was like, oh my god, it seems very simple, but it was always meant to be. You know, you
True.
have to do those things for you to have better experiences, and then I think it's all destiny. I feel I never wanted to say this, but out loud, I think there is a structure to this.
Definitely. You have worked with Shujoy Ghosh also in Last Stories too. So, how did his
Yes.
working style impact your craft?
In this particular series, I think so. Each medium and each style of storytelling somehow has a different language, vocabulary,
Sure.
you know. So here, I never read the script. I didn't get the script till the last. Like even when I was on like on set, I didn't have the script. I just had Sujoyda coming and explaining the entire journey, the character, for 2 hours, right outside the vanity. He was just standing and he was just explaining the relationship between the two, and what goes on, and what do you need to think, all those things. I was just like, I want to work with the director who made Kahani. I was just there and I was like, whatever you say, Sujoyda, I'm gonna, you know, I'm just gonna deliver that to you and for that scene. And I like the fact that there was no wire friendship, you know, where people are like recommending and then you be on stage. I like the fact that he auditioned me. He did a video call. Then he met me on set, and then he tried a couple of wigs on my head, and then he gave me a proper brief. So I think more than I know, when you see the result, you'll be like, oh, blink and miss. But it's the experience of working with um, storytellers and the medium, and sometimes it's and like it's a small four short stories into one. Sometimes it's a four episodic series. Sometimes it's a finite. Sometimes it's an infinite.
True.
So learning what they are making and how they design their energies with actors is something I got to learn a lot on that set with Sujoyda, and he's savage. He's really
True, definitely.
he's yeah, his one-liners and his wittiness is something to like. I don't know if he's kidding or he's serious. What is going on? So it was fun.
Okay, so you wear so many caps in terms of acting, dancing, hosting, and so many things that you have been doing. You enjoy, any particular role that you really enjoy.
I genuinely, I want to live the moment truthfully and in the best way possible, without thinking about future, without thinking about past. And I want to try new things. I don't want to box myself into I'm this and I love doing that. And because I know myself, after some time I'll be like, oh, I want something else. I want to enjoy being maybe sometimes a host, sometimes a contestant, sometimes a judge, sometimes being behind camera, sometimes even writing a few things. So I think the entertainment industry has so much to offer. Then to just pin your down, like self to down, like one thing, it's so difficult to, just say that I will always do, say, I will always feel one emotion. It's like that. Why do you want to box yourself into only one emotion? So when it comes to living the moment, of course, you can't be thinking so much. You have to feel, right? So when I was even doing stunts and everything in Argentina, I was just living the moment, doing my task. And when we are in front of camera, doing the moment, so we are just that particular scene that I'm hungry for, that particular moment. How truthfully am I to myself, to my
Sure.
director, to the story, to the audience who has eyes on me? So I think I have that very good clarity on that. I just want to be truthful to that, as opposed to just sticking to, say, just a comedy as a genre, or horror as a genre, or only dancing. And because when you are feeling elated and you have that heightened energy and you are dancing, beyond that, words will come out, excitement, some voice will come out. So even if you're in pain, you will scream. So
Of
sometimes
course.
that has also happened when you're projecting that even above the song, our voices come. So it's like this, the progression of dancing to acting to finding the truth in the moment. And now, with whenever you read a scene and you try to deliver your lines, I just feel that is the most precious thing. And I like the fact that uh, it's not one solid like a thing. It's proper, like it's floaty. It's intangible. You
Sure.
cannot pinpoint, and even at the age of 90, I think I can do what I do.
Okay, during the time, like, no, this is, we are talking about web series and OTT. It has changed the game altogether. Now it is a
Yes.
limitless opportunities for everybody. So, like, you mentioned about genres. So, any particular genre that pulls you towards, you are very interested and you find it very different and you wish to work in that particular genre?
I feel I want to do a journey of a character. I want to do character driven stories, not particularly biopics, but I would love to be in other person's shoes and uh, feel you know have that liberty to step outside Mukti Mohan and see what challenges that particular person must have lived through. And I would love to do a character driven story more than more than a formula film, because a lot of people do a formula based stuff in order to achieve success. Because since we all know that before even the release of the film, we somehow know how much it was made in, and if it doesn't make this much, then it's not a success. That's how people somehow tie down and choose films.
True.
But I would like to see a journey, because I know even if it is 20 years later, like films like Sholay didn't do well initially. It
Initially,
did well
yes.
much later. Andaz Apna Apna is a cult now. It didn't do well earlier. So like that, if there are some like really like chalked out nice characters, I love to do multiple characters. I love to like be called a female chameleon if it is possible.
Okay, what form of dance do you practice the most and you enjoy also?
In my daily practice, I definitely do my, a bit of Bharatnatyam, a bit of contemporary, and lots of stretching. But I think there's a lot of Afro, and a lot of Afro is very, very similar to amalgamation of a lot of folk dances in India, by the way. So it's a good release. So in my practice, in terms of dancing, I think my warm ups are very like Bharatnatyam, ballet, those kinds. But when it comes to a good release and really enjoying, then I think nowadays I've been doing Afro.
Okay, so for our young viewers, if you have to say, like, first of all, at what age they should start and what form of dance will actually help them grow in today's time, the kind of music that we have. What would be
A
your
classic.
guide and suggestions?
I can, from my experience, I can definitely
Sure.
say a classical dance style. and particularly South Indian style. It could be Mohiniyattam, Kuchipudi, Bharatnatyam, and because those forms are way more ancient and scientific, and it opens your chakras also indirectly if you practice it for longer. And it'll never be difficult for you to understand a different beat, a style, and the choreography, because the kind of training that happens over there is first you have to say the tal, then you have to do the tal, then you have to become the music. So
Okay.
the and it's inculcated in our Dravidian culture so well that each child knows how to play an instrument, how to sing, how to dance. So the most I think the first style that people should target on is the classical style, any classical, so that your vocabulary and your mathematics of adding music becomes very simple. So classical style for sure, and after that I think learn as much as you can, because from classical all folks came out, all the, like even the afro and all the rooted things, all the farmers used to do that, used to pray to god for rains, for crops, right? So those are the movements, I think, which are innate in us. So I think to start with, for anyone, I can just say, just go and dive into as many classical styles and like refresh your vocabulary.
Okay. So, how was the experience of hosting Dil Hai Hindustani 2, the season 2?
Honestly, I have no idea about singing. And I got to learn so much about the plethora of work that was happening in the music industry in the 50s and 60s, because whatever the contestants come up with, whatever judges recommend, and whichever song they perform on, there's so much that the host needs to be aware about, that who was the lyricist, who was the singer, what was their genre, why something did better than another. What was Kishorda doing? He was singing, dancing, acting, producing, and he can play instruments, and like it's so rich, because the kind of stuff that you get to do as a host not only add and pump up the energy of the episode and of the moments, but you need to be even aware. So I got to learn a lot about the music industry when I was hosting, and I was in front of Pritam Da, Sunidhi, Badsha, and alongside I had Raghav. So it was insane. It was mind blowing because of the talent that we were receiving, not only from India, but from across the globe. There were people from Czechoslovakia, there were people from um, all over the world singing Hindi songs. To mind you, their language is something else. They don't speak anything. They don't understand also probably, but they learned our songs. They were doing that time and again for like almost 30 episodes, if you see, So we grow together as a family when we do a show, right? So as a contestant, it's just a personal journey. You're just trying to do better than how you were yesterday, right? But as a host, you get to grow with everyone, because everyone is somehow reaching towards the finale. And it was a really unique experience. It was really nice.
Okay. How do you prepare yourself before any performance?
Depends on what I'm going to perform. And I think staying still and reading as much as possible, understanding what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And then I think repetition is the father of everything. I think once you repeatedly do something, you can master any art form. It's all practice, practice, practice. And then you have to release that tension of practice. And I think that then there's something flows naturally in you. So my secret sauce is right before I go to sleep or at the moment I wake up. That is when it gets into the system. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's something that you have to practice and it stays. Otherwise, it goes. So that is something which I practice. Be it a choreography or be it knowing my lines, knowing my scenes. So yeah, that's how I prepare. Rest, I just leave it to the moment.
So just before the performance, what do you do? Like, is there are people who meditate for some time to keep themselves at they're in their own state, so they
Hmm.
can focus more. So any particular mantra that you have just before the performance?
Just before the performance, the you I when it is dancing, I definitely keep my body warm. I keep warming up my body because I
Okay.
don't want the body to not be warm. Like, be it any stage, sometimes the AC is too strong, sometimes the body is like cooling down, becoming stiff. So I make sure that I keep the body warm at all times, but my head is as cool as a cucumber. I I will just stay focused on the song that is going on loop. And if it's a scene, then I live like that. This is what I have lived like, and this is who I am. So जितना simple रहता है उतना easy होता है. So I don't complicate things on preparing, but I keep it very simple, very blank, very deep breath, and just keep myself in the zone to know what's going on. Because sometimes to even meditate and to so you don't have the luxury to meditate before every scene to prepare.
True,
Sometimes
true.
so it's always the best sometimes to know what the director is thinking, know what the actors are thinking, to be around them, still be in the meditative zone. So it's in inactive action. I think sometimes you have to constantly be there to know, okay, now this is the state everyone is in, and that's how you can be a part of the scene that everyone is filling in. So that's how I just truthfully living the moment and loving what you do is something I think which every artist or every individual must do. So even you at this moment, you're with me. We have never met each other, but at this moment, you're fully here. So I think that is
And I'm
something
enjoying
which,
myself talking to you.
oh, sweet. I'm enjoying myself too. Yeah.
Okay, so what has been some of the most major challenges in your career?
I didn't know about uh, people's perception can be a part of you getting a certain kind of opportunity, I feel. So initially, it's just, I like to believe that I'm always a newcomer and I have to audition and I
Sure.
have to start fresh before every project. That's what keeps me active. Otherwise, the challenge here is if you're a dancer to break that um, uh, like projection and perception about how people see you, that takes a while to change. So that is definitely a challenge. But I think if my dance performances were played say 1,000 times, so I have to do 2,000 projects as 2,000 different characters for me to break that. So that is a
Okay.
challenge, definitely.
Okay. My last question to you: what would be your word of advice to the aspiring dancers and actors who wants to come to this industry?
These days, people have a very short attention span
Sure.
and short patience and really less understanding of what people are getting on their platter, maybe probably today because they have uploaded a video and some people can call them for work like this, right?
Of course.
That opportunity was never given when we were starting up. So to the upcoming performers, artists, I would say train as much as you can, be in the classroom, be one of the students, help each other out, because in the long run that will stay. Tomorrow if somebody selects you, and how good you are as a team player is somehow will be respected more than even if you are the best one, the most talented person. But if you're not a team player, if you're not somebody who can be, working together with people, That is something that I think nowadays people are losing track of, that because they feel like I have these many followers, I can run my own show, I can run my own channel, and I can do my own thing. But when it comes to working together, it doesn't work like that. And also in terms of dancing, dancing is more than just your 9:16 ratio screen, which is the reels. You don't have to just dance this much. So your practice is also this much. You have to expand your horizon, your body, your capability. Otherwise, without training, you I think no one can become an artist. So train as much as you can, spend time in the classroom, always keep shifting from different techniques to techniques, but keep training. That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you.
Definitely. Thank you. Before you sign off, I would like to tell everyone that on the 9th of August, Gyara Gyara is releasing on the Z5, and Life Hill Gay is coming on Disney plus Hotstar. And on the 30th of August, A Wedding Story is coming. So, three of my releases are coming in August. So, I hope you guys watch it. And to you and all your listeners and viewers, please do give me your feedback when you see it because it'll help me grow. So, thank you so much.
Definitely. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.